All right, diving in today, folks, we're going to be talking about pedodontics,
Ooh,
which might sound a little niche, but stick with us because it's way more interesting and impactful than you might think.
it really is.
Yeah, and we've been digging into some introductory material on the field, and it's kind of blown our minds how much early childhood dental health really sets the stage for, well, pretty much everything.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking lifelong well-being here, not just whether a kid has a mouthful of cavities or not.
Right, exactly. So for folks who might not be totally familiar, what exactly is pedodontics?
So in a nutshell, it's the branch of dentistry that's all about kids,
Yeah.
from infancy all the way through the teenage years.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they really cover the whole spectrum.
They really do, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, fillings and braces and all that. It's about understanding how their mouths and teeth develop and how that ties into their overall health and development as they grow.
That's super interesting. I hadn't really thought about it like that. It's more than just, fixing problems when they pop up.
Way more. It's about prevention, early intervention, and even, things like speech development, nutrition, all sorts of things you might not expect.
Okay, so I'm already seeing why this is such a big deal. So let's talk about that early intervention piece. Why is it so important to get kids into the dentist like really early on?
Well, there are a few reasons, but one of the biggest is that those early visits can actually have a huge impact on a child's attitude towards dental care throughout their whole life.
Oh, really? So like if they have a good experience at the dentist when they're little, they're more likely to be comfortable going as they get older.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. If your first experience with a dentist is scary or painful, you're probably going to associate that with dental care in general, right?
Makes total sense.
But if those early visits are positive, if the dentist is patient and kind and makes it a fun experience, well, that sets the stage for a much healthier relationship with dental care down the road.
Wow. That's pretty profound when you think about it. It's not just about the immediate checkup, it's about shaping their whole perception of dental health.
Exactly, yeah.
So in terms of those early visits, I know there's a recommendation that kids should have their first appointment by their first birthday, which honestly seems kind of crazy early to me.
Yeah, it does sound surprising to a lot of people, but it's not just about, checking for cavities in a one-year-old.
Right.
Right.
What are they looking for at that age?
Well, it's about catching potential issues early on when they're much easier to address.
Hmm.
Things like nursing bottle caries, for example. That's a really aggressive form of tooth decay that can happen when babies are exposed to sugary drinks for prolonged periods.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that could happen so early.
Yep, it definitely can. And also things like tongue tie, which you might not think of as a dental issue.
Tongue tie.
Yeah, where the little band of tissue under the tongue is too short or tight. It can affect how babies latch and suck and can even lead to speech problems down the line.
Oh, I see. So they're not just looking at the teeth themselves, but the whole mouth and how it's developing.
Precisely. It's about seeing the bigger picture, how everything is connected,
Mhm.
and addressing those issues early on can make a world of difference.
It's amazing how much they can pick up on at such a young age.
Yeah, it really is. Pedodontists have a special set of skills and knowledge that allows them to see things that, a general dentist might not even be looking for.
That makes sense. So it seems like pedodontics is really more than just, the clinical side of things. There's a whole psychological and educational aspect to it, too.
Absolutely. It's really a holistic approach. You have to understand child development and psychology to be able to create a comfortable, positive experience for kids. And a huge part of it is educating parents.
Right, because ultimately the parents are the ones who are, brushing their kids' teeth and making sure they're eating healthy foods and all that.
Exactly. So pedodontists spend a lot of time teaching parents about proper brushing techniques, age-appropriate nutrition, and how to prevent injuries as kids become more active.
I imagine that can be really valuable for parents, especially first-time parents who are just figuring everything out.
Oh, absolutely. It can be overwhelming for new parents. There's so much information out there, and it can be hard to know what to trust. So having a pedodontist as a resource, someone who can answer their questions and give them personalized guidance, that can be really reassuring.
I bet. It's starting to become clear that this isn't just about baby teeth, is it?
Not at all.
Mm.
This is about setting the foundation for a lifetime of good oral health and overall well-being.
So what kind of long-term impact are we talking about here?
Well, kids who have good oral health habits from a young age are much less likely to develop cavities and other dental problems later in life.
That makes sense.
And that means less pain, less time in the dentist chair, and a better quality of life overall. And it goes beyond just the physical stuff, too. Good oral health can boost a child's self-esteem, improve their social interactions, and even affect their performance in school.
Wow, I never would have thought about it all being so interconnected.
It really is. And it all starts with those baby teeth. People often think of them as temporary and not as important, but they play a crucial role in guiding the permanent teeth into the right position.
Oh, that's interesting. So those baby teeth are kind of like placeholders for the adult teeth.
Exactly. And they're also essential for chewing and speech development. So even though they eventually fall out, they have a lasting impact on a child's health and well-being.
So taking care of those baby teeth is an investment in their future in a way.
Absolutely. It's one of the best investments you can make in your child's health.
Okay, so to wrap things up here, what's the main message you want listeners to take away from this deep dive into pedodontics?
I'd say the key takeaway is this. Pedodontics and early dental care in general, it's not just about fixing teeth. It's about setting kids up for a lifetime of good oral health and all the amazing benefits that come with that.
It's about so much more than just a pretty smile.
Exactly. It's about overall health, well-being, confidence, and, just living a fuller, healthier life.
I love that. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, how might a proactive approach to oral health in those early years create a ripple effect, influencing a child's overall health and well-being for decades to come? That's definitely something to ponder. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's been fascinating.
My pleasure. It's so important to get this information out there.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.